solar energy process begins with sunlight reaching the Earth's surface. Solar panels made up of photovoltaic cells capturing this sunlight and converts it into electricity through the photovoltaic effect. These cells are typically made from semiconductor materials like silicon. When sunlight hits the cell, it excites electrons, causing them to move and create an electric current. This current is then collected and converted into usable electricity either for immediate consumption or for storage in batteries. In solar thermal systems, sunlight is used to heat a fluid, often water or a heat transfer fluid, which then generates steam to drive turbines and produce electricity. Alternatively, the heated fluid can be used directly for heating purposes in homes or industries. Overall, solar energy harnesses the power of the sun's radiation to produce electricity or heat, providing a renewable and sustainable source of energy. Why we need solar energy? Because it has so many benefits. Number one, it's a renewable. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind. Why we need solar energy? Because it has so many benefits. Like it is a renewable. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind powers are derived from naturally replenished sources such as sunlight and winds. Unlike fossil fuels which are finite and depletable, renewable energy sources can be continually replenished, ensuring a long-term and sustainable energy supply. Second one is non-polluting. Renewable energy sources produce little to no air or water pollution during electricity generations. Low maintenance. Renewable energy systems, particularly solar and wind power, generally require minimal maintenance once installed. Solar panels and wind turbines have few moving parts and are designed to withstand various weather conditions. Routine maintenance typically involves occasional cleaning and inspection to ensure optimal performance. This low maintenance requires reduced occupational cost and increases the reliability and longevity of renewable energy system. Prevents global warming. One of the most critical benefits of renewable energy is its role in mitigating climate change and preventing global warming. By replacing fossil fuels with clean, renewable energy sources such as solar, winds, and hydropowers, we can significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and limit the warming of the Earth's atmosphere. Saves money. Transitioning to renewable energy sources can lead to significant cost savings over time. While there may be upfront costs associated with the installation of renewable energy systems, such as solar panels or wind turbines, the long term operational costs are typically much lower compared to traditional fossil fuels based energy sources. Now, the types of solar energy. There are four main types of solar energy. Number one, passive solar energy. Number two, solar thermal. Number three, concentrated solar power. And number four, solar photovoltaic. Passive solar gain. This form of energy is often taken for granted but can contribute a significant amount of the energy demands of a well designed building in the heating season. Sunlight enters a building through windows and warms the inside. In an average house in the UK, passive solar gain contributes 14% of the heating demands. Orienting the house so that the more often used rooms face south, larger windows on the south sides, smaller on the north, using building materials that store heat by adding thermal mass to the house and laying out housing development so that buildings do not overshadow each other. Solar thermal. A solar thermal panel is simply a black surface that absorbs light, heat up, and transfer the heat into a working fluid. It can be unglazed or glazed. Glazed panels can be flat or made up of collection of glass tubes. The working fluid moves the heat to a place where it is useful, perhaps a hot water stove. To reach useful temperatures for domestic hot water, the dark colored surface needs to be thermally insulated to limit heat losses to the environment. A familiar example of collecting light energy in this way is the way a car dashboard heats up when the car is left parked in the sun. Concentrates solar power. If the sun's rays are concentrated by mirrors, much higher temperatures can be created. The light is focused onto a central point with a carrier fluid, such as oil, flowing through it. The oil heats up to around 400 Celsius, hot enough to heat water and make high pressure steam that can drive a turbine and generate electricity. Solar concentrators only work in direct sunshine. The mirror is held on a support that can turn to follow the sun as it moves throughout the day, adding to complexity and cost. Because of this, they are only used in areas benefiting from a sunny climate with more clear sky days. Photovoltaic solar. Photovoltaic solar cells, which convert light directly into electricity, first found application in space before becoming commonplace on devices such as calculators and watches, and also providing power to location without a connection to the electricity grid. As costs have fallen and efficiencies of photovoltaic materials have risen, governments provided generous support that has seen the levels of solar deployment soar. Solar PV has now reached a point where without subsidy it can provide compete with the retail cost of electricity in developed economies and with wholesale electricity in sunny climates. The most common technology uses thin layer of silicon semiconductor materials conducted in series in a photovoltaic panel or module. The direct current electricity the solar PV panels produce need to be converted to alternating color current for grid connected applications. A solar inverter performs this trick, enabling any energy generation in excess of local demand to be exported